Hey everyone, Miss Shames here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to subtract mixed numbers, and I'm going to be showing you two different strategies. Last time we subtracted mixed numbers, but this is going to be a little bit different because if you look at this equation I have, 3 1/4 minus 2 1/2. If you notice, 1/4 is actually smaller, it's a smaller fraction than 1/2. If you can do this in your head, you can think of 1/2 as 2/4. So if I have 1/4, I can't really take away 1/2 or 2/4 that easily without doing some sort of regrouping. So if you have trouble or would need help knowing right off the bat if the fraction in the first number, which is called the minuend, is smaller than the fraction in the second number, which is called the subtrahend. If you wouldn't know that right away, then these two strategies I'm going to show you today would work for subtracting any mixed numbers. So these are a very safe bet rather than doing whole number fraction and then the attachment for subtracting fractions. So let me show you how to do these two methods. Method 1. Turn the mixed numbers into fractions greater than 1. So I'm going to start with my 3 1/4, and I want to turn this into a fraction greater than 1. So I can think of it as, well, I know 3 times 4 is 12, 12 plus 1 is 13, so this is 13/4. The denominator stays the same. So I converted 3 1/4 into a fraction greater than 1, 13/4. Now I'm going to do the same with 2 1/2. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 plus 1 is 5, so 2 1/2 turns into 5/2. So now I have 13/4 and 5/2, and I can use the strategy I've been using of finding a common denominator to make equivalent fractions and then subtract. So I'm going to find a common denominator with 4 and 2. So let's skip count. 4, 8, 12, 16, 2, 4, 6, 8. And I can see that 4 is the least common denominator. Well, 13/4 is already in fourths, so I don't need to make an equivalent fraction with that. I can leave it. But now let's figure out 5/2 is equivalent to how many fourths? Well, 2 times 2 is 4, so I'm going to do 5 times 2 to get an equivalent fraction. That's 10/4. So now I'm really just doing 13/4 minus 10/4, and I get 3/4. So 3 1/4 minus 2 1/2 is 3/4. Now let's do the same equation but with a different strategy. Now I'm going to regroup one whole from the minuend, and we've used this before when we subtracted a fraction from a whole number. So I'm going to take my 3 1/4 minus 2 1/2. And this time I'm going to take one whole away from 3. So that'll make this 2. And I'm going to rewrite the one whole as 4/4. I'm writing it as fourths because my fraction that's part of the mixed number is in fourths. So then I can combine the fourths that I have, and I can rewrite 3 1/4 as 2 5/4. Let me just review how I did that. I took one whole away from 3, so I get 2. And I rewrote my one whole as 4/4. I chose fourths because my fraction here is in fourths. I combined it to make 5/4. This will help me have the fraction in the minuend greater than the fraction in the subtrahend so that I can subtract more easily. I don't need to do that with the second fraction though, since the 1/4 was smaller. But now I can find a common denominator. Actually, I already did that work. The common denominator between 2 and 4 is 4. This is already in fourths, so I don't need to touch it. 1/2, let's see how many fourths that's equivalent to. Times 2 times 2 is equivalent to 2/4. So I can rewrite this whole equation as 2 and 5/4 minus 2 and 2/4. 2 minus 2 is 0. 5/4 minus 2/4 is 3/4. And I get the same answer. I'm going to show you this with one more strategy. If you're feeling good or if you guys are getting it, you can pause it now. But if you think you need one more example, I'm going to show you. So I'm going to do the same work with 1 and 3/4 minus 6/7. So my first method is that I'm going to rewrite the mixed number into a fraction greater than 1. So 1 times 4 is 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. So this turns into 7/4. So I'm really just doing 7/4 minus 6/7. So now I'm going to skip count to find a common denominator. So skip count by 4, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. Let's skip count by 7, 7, 14, 21, 28. So I can see the least common denominator is 28. So now I need to make equivalent fractions with 7/4 and 6/7. So 7/4, let's figure out how many 28s that's equivalent to. So 4 times 7 is 28, so I need to multiply the numerator times 7. 7 times 7 is 49. Minus, okay, let's do the same with 6/7. 6/7 is equivalent to how many 28s? 7 times 4 is 28. 6 times 4 is 24. So I'm really doing 49 28s. I'll rewrite this equation here. Minus 24 28s. Let me do 49 minus 24 is 25 28s. And I cannot reduce that or make that into a simpler form. So that is my answer, 25 28s. Okay, let's do it with the other method. That's where I'm going to regroup one whole from the minuend and combine that with my fraction. So if I'm regrouping one whole from 1, I'm taking away the whole thing. So I'm going to rewrite my 1 as, well, my fraction here is 4, so I'm going to rewrite this as 4/4. And if I combine the 4/4 with the 3/4, I get 7/4. So, oh, sorry, I wrote this as 6/7. So if I'm doing 7/4 minus 6/7, that actually turns into the same equation that I have up here. So I would do the exact same work. But I just wanted to show you again how I would take a whole away from the minuend, write it as a fraction equal to one whole with the same denominator of the fraction in the mixed number, combine it. Okay, so both of these strategies will help you. All right, happy subtracting mixed numbers.